Hello everyone, very beautiful model today. Look at that. Making some dust with willow charcoal, leaving it here, and hopefully that will work for us. With the bit of paper towel, start doing those first moves here. Look, willow charcoal, paper towel, and do movement of her head to start with, the roundness of her head. Neck area. Elbow, hand, neck again, head, and take some any brush, just start it and do it with brush. I think will be a lot better than with my fingers, to be honest. You know, it's so much better by not using your fingers, especially at this stage. Again, you're not committing to the drawing, and secondly, it spreads faster, and you can cover a lot more within very few steps, let's say, or limited time that you might have. So dust, and mainly a beautiful head, tilted head here, hair. Take some more dust, a bit more hair around here. Coffee helps keep you awake. Again, you're looking at that turn of her tilted head, chin, beautiful neck, and a bit more. Let's see here. Yes, see that angle here goes in her forehead, so that angle. So I think I should go a little bit more generous, give her a bit more of a, shoulder, wider shoulder, hand here, that beautiful delicate hand, and all this area so dark. Say the top of her hand, palm, the bone structure of the palm, and then you have the roundness of her shoulder. All right, eyebrow area, nose, bit of nose. Now possibly, let's see, with stump, I might be able to do those with stump. Yeah, a little bit. Keep an eye that the eyebrows and the eye, they're quite far apart, and also the eyebrow, the spread of the eyebrow is also very prominent here. The eyebrows are also quite far apart, and you have upper lip, lower lip, chin, and hairline. Coming back and emphasizing a little bit of thumb, wrist, lower part of the wrist, And then you have the fingers just being spread over here. I've done a little bit, they are very parallel, they're very thin and parallel to each other, so I need to be careful with that and do what I'm saying. 1 2 1 2 3 4, not to give her more fingers. I think a little bit lower here with the elbow. And there we are. So you see, that's the elbow on the other side. Wrist. And that's a little bit of a ghost, so I need to keep an eye on. Okay, I'll stop for a second and I'll continue later on. Hello again. Bit of a break. So let's go back to our drawing now. As I said, I've used the other day, well, the other time. Not the yes, the other time I've used not willow charcoal, but contemporary, and that was not good. Is that again? Oh right, that's not good for this paper. That's not good. Hello everyone. Let's see what we can do with this beautiful model of ours. Okay, now charcoal dust and brush, and let's do our first marks. Head, roundness of her head, chin, jaw, ear, hair, and again the end of the hair here, chin, neck, shoulder. It's not working, so better use my fingers, really will be more effective. Arm, let me show you the arm here, that part of the arm, this side. Hand, lower arm, upper arm, hand again, the bone structure, elbow, that elbow, her left elbow, and that's her right elbow. Somewhere the eyes, nose, upper lip, lower lip, ear. Ears at the same level as the upper eyebrow, so I should push the eyebrow a bit further up. Okay, so ear, eyebrow is here, and you got the ear at the same horizontal level. Do you see what I mean by saying that? Horizontal level, yeah, the ear, Then you have the hair. This charcoal is a little bit annoying, it's not giving me beautiful shadows that I wanted to, but we'll insist. Nostril, upper lip. Better get a different charcoal. No, that's Conte charcoal. I need charcoal. Slightly softer. Got her fleshy lips, rounded jaw, chin, eyebrow here. As I said, the brownness of her eyebrow, it's at the same level as the ear. We've got the ear here, and not forget the hair. And this part of her forehead is all a half tone here. And then hair here, hair there, and the eye. Instead of concentrating on the roundness of the eye, what I'll do, so concentrating, it's the look. See the cheekbone here, cheekbone coming. So instead of concentrating on the eye, just do the head construction. Get some dust from here, and then cheekbone. Eye is within that dark cavity there. Here we are. Nose, more cheekbone on this side. There you are there. And can I move that in between dark tone that I've done here? I'll try. So what I'm saying is this one here. Yes, it can. Okay. Okay. Leave it for the time being. We need that dark, especially here, in this corner here. Now the eye. Darkness. I'll making her slightly bigger eyes than she does have big eyes, but I'm making her slightly bigger. Let's concentrate a bit more on the so keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on the eye. The eyelid of the lower eye, her right eye, it's under, or it's where the eye bag of the left eye is. So the eyelid goes there. The eyelid here. Then you got the eyebrow, and chin, but that is a very, very soft. Dark zero of her neck. And just give her a bit more of a hair here, a bit more. Make it look more organic, the hair. A darker ear, and Now, I'm not making a perfect portrait, because although you could say it is very concentrated on her expression, all this gesture, but I don't want to make it only about portraits. It's a gesture and also a little bit of a portrait. Pupil, upper eyelid, the eyebrow is thick and softly merging. So see what I'm doing? Ezra? Okay, I can bring that closer so you can watch closely. So, the value, the darkness of the skin tone is very close to the hair. It's not the same, but it's very close. So you've got hair, the darkness of her hair, but also the roundness of her forehead. And the eyebrow is where the other eye is. So eyebrow is here, eyebrow where the eye is here, right here. Okay, a little bit of forehead here. A thicker eyebrow. Nostril. And the lower lip. Okay. That nose structure, which is, it's almost vertical, the bone structure of the nose there. Philtrum here in the middle. Again, upper lip. And the lower lip here. Again, on cheekbone. Roundness of the cheekbone. Hair. Neck, shoulder here, and bringing that down here, shoulder round here, so wrapped up. That's all dark in the middle. Now, I leave a little bit of space for the hand, especially thumb up here. And you got the whole hand wrapped up, and it's a very delicate hand obviously here. So again, the darkness of her dress, if you squint your eyes and you will see that it's almost as dark on the skin tone up to the bone structure here. So what, with other words, I'm saying is that could darken that easily here, and do the same on the other side. Look how dark that value, tonal value goes right there, and here you have it, and darker tone here. That's where the other arm is, and also right down here you have the skin tone. which is this one here. The elbow is, look at the gesture, how beautiful. Look, say that the spine is here, which we don't see it. That gesture goes, well, the spine will be here. The spine will be here, and then you have the elbow there. Well, you want to go out? Go. Okay. And bone structure. Mimo, hanno video. And then bone structure here. Darker. Let me get some darks here. Well, first of all, I darken this. And then take some dust and start doing this elbow here. Well, still the skin tone is still there. It's dark, so that's why, well, one of the reasons I'm darkening it is to get as dark as I can with the skin tone and values. Look, that's almost as dark as the dress. Dress, and hands as well. Well, why not do the same here? Soften all these values of hair, of the features, individual features, hair, eyebrow, ear. Softly merge them, put them in one line together. Now again, let's see the gesture of this. Now that line continues right to the eye. Look, their eyebrow. So something somewhere here. Shoulder, wrapped up with fingers. There we are. And maybe with the help of the stump, I can do a little bit more precise lines. This is that. Then you have the wrist, upper part of the wrist. That's not doing anything. So going back to the charcoal, it's not leaving any marks. Wrist, thumb, knuckle, and all the knuckles here. Hand there. Let me give you a quicker look, a closer look, and then the thumb and the lower part of the thumb here, right here. Dress first, a couple of lines for the dress, and then you've got the thumb here. Is that at the same altitude? Check it. I think it is. Look, horizontal line from one thumb to the next is there. There. couple of lines for the design of the upper arm. Well, sorry, lower arm. Upper arm is this one here. Now here, unfortunately, there is not a defined line, so I will just make sure that we got the darkness at least as close as we can here. The value tone, or the tonal value, sorry, the opposite. And a little bit of dress, lower part. Now I could go darken all this, and darker tone here, darker tonal value. The again thumb, the wrist here, and the bone structure there. Okay, back here with hand, wrist again, wrist again, and there you have it, darker here. Bone structure. See, I'm spending a lot of time in getting it right. The expression, the gesture of her hands, I think is as important as the portrait. To show the delicacy of her gesture, you know, very softly wrapping up here her upper arm, ring finger, and the roundness of her shoulder here. It's a lot more rounded than that. A lot darker to start with here. And the roundness of shoulder, as I said. A bit darker. The bone structure here. Okay, so far so good. Now, getting back to the portrait, because of course we need to clarify a few things there. It's a bit too vague. What's going on? First, she's got the head more towards the left, which I didn't do, but that's fine. Don't have to be a perfect copier of the pose. And that goes the same for you. If you don't tilt the head even more, it's fine, as long as it tilted, as long as it is tilted on the right direction. More tilt, less tilt, it's not as important. More important is to get as much as we can her likeness. Eyebrow, darkness, see? Very, very soft shadow. Half tone, really. It's not even a shadow, it's a half tone. There you are. And you see, I'm working on this side where the sun illuminates the sun, the light, the projector illuminates from her left or our right. Again, that's where we need to concentrate more on the shadow between light and the shadow. Well, the light basically, and shadow is created by the light, obviously. Upper lip. All soft there. Lower lip. Chin. Neck could go a little bit thicker. I mean, sometimes I do tell you it's more tilted because what I am missing here is the exaggerated tilt that she does have. I do have a tilt, but I was thinking of, because I do insist sometimes it's more tilted and it's less tilted and it's more. It doesn't mean that you have to do it, but just keep it in mind. But yes, I mean, yes, she is more tilted. Her head is more tilted than what I've actually done here. Upper eyelid, eye, and the other eye. First of all, eyebrow. Let's get the eyebrow. Which is at the top of, or the middle of the other eye. So middle of the other eye. So you've got the eyebrow here. Middle of the other eye. Eyebrow. Thick eyebrows and the eyes. Okay. A little bit more forehead. Yes, forehead, bit more forehead. And her curly, beautiful hair. All around here. Nose. Under her nostril. Upper lip. Chin. And of course the jaw. It's a very, very soft turn from very, very light to half tone and then darks. This is why I'm being so careful here, because it is a very difficult part of the light And to get the form right, you see, just moving it with your finger, manipulate those shadows to make that round. It's almost like a sphere. Of course, it's not a sphere, but it's roundness, especially of the forehead. It's very, very much like a sphere. Bit more hair all around there. Okay, I think it's good. The hair is good. So what I need to get on now is to create those darks here. And a little bit softer here, around here. Ear, hair, and darker tone. Darks, take them from my sandpaper and move it down like this. There you are. Now I'll spray it, but not exactly now, because before I spray it, I need to get the lightest parts of her flesh tone. Okay, let's see here. Which are fingers, or nostrils to start with. Knuckles, sorry, knuckles. Then you have the thumb, knuckle here, and knuckle of the ring finger. Cleaning the putty rubber. That's why you clear out the putty rubber and get the lights out of the putty. Small finger. Some highlights underneath here. A little bit highlight on the wrist. All that area here. Slightly lighter. Okay. Now back to the first knuckle. Index finger. Middle finger. See that area, though, that line here, it's very soft. Just get merged completely with the background here. There we are. I almost lost it completely. And then you have the bone structure here of the upper arm, shoulder, arm, shoulder. I get confused with this. Thumb here, bone structure of the thumb, and then going back and forth with the knuckles here. So you increase the size of the hand just by making that wider from one end to the other, so top to bottom, and that's where you get the knuckles. And then not forget the light here. Leave that shadow underneath. You see that shadow underneath the hand? I'm talking about this. That's the cast shadow that the hand is creating on her upper arm here. So leave that, you need that. You need to create, again, depth and value, depth and that 3D effect. And then a little bit lighter, the bone structure here. Light the bone structure there, as we do have it here. Now the wrist again, back and forth with lightness and brightness, and portrait. A bit further up with portrait. Before I sprayed the whiteness of her eyes, just this part. Not because I'm after the whiteness, but the whiteness will define me the eye. So it's not that the whiteness is essential here. In this case, it's essential to define the eye, but not because I'm after the whiteness of the eye. As we said many, many times, the whiteness is not as white as it looks. It's always subject to the shadow that the upper eyebrow creates, eyelid creates, and the white of the eye is full of vessels, blood vessels. So it's not as white as it looks. Let me concentrate on the portrait so you can have a look at how to tackle those little white bits, bring them up a bit more. Light on the upper lip, lighter. The lip in between, sorry, the nostril here. That creates a very nice expression here, but also I need to tackle here, give it a little light on the upper lip, a bit more like this, look. See, that creates fleshy upper lip. And round the lip a bit lighter here. Round the lip. And the lower lip. Well, some highlight coming from this side. From the left-hand side. And fleshy lower lip. So you don't have to darken it, you can just do it with a putty. A putty will create those lines. Clear that up. Putty again. Those very, very dark edges, which it's just about the paper really in this case. It absorbs charcoal and then it stays there, it doesn't move. It's impossible to get rid of it. Okay, I'm concentrating more on the portrait because some of you might say, well, it is a portrait as well, so yeah, okay. Of course it is a portrait, but there's a gesture which is more important. So now that I've got the gesture, roughly, okay, let's see. Highlight on her forehead, eyebrow, and the ear, bit lighter here. That brings the ear further up by lightening it this way, here. And obviously hairline, and get rid of this, the cheekbone structure here. And of course, roundness of her chin. There we are. And a bit more rounded. Her nostril, top of the nostril. I've done her looking a little bit rougher. I'm sorry to say, but it's the truth. She's rougher on me. She's older, a little bit older, and not as sweet. Let's put it this way. Maybe that goes a little bit unconsciously. I don't know. Maybe I cannot get that sweetness of her face. I'll try again. But it doesn't matter really. Again, it is good if it was a commissioned portrait, I would have started again. But because it isn't, no problem. The important thing is to get right the proportions, and the again, likeness is very important, but because it's not a commission in this case. But yeah, it's extremely important, the tilt. Sorry to say that, going back to the tilt, but I'm getting her more and more tilted now. Well, more important than anything is to get the values right, the tonal values. And of course the tilt as well. But as I said, I'm getting her more and more tilted. Look, it's exactly the same tilt, you see? Pretty much. A bit further out. Pretty much the same tilt. Okay, I think I need to trim her head up here. Again, trying to get her as close as we can to the original image. And make a little bit less rough here, just by softening the cheekbone. That's how you get somebody looking a little bit more baby-faced. Softening the lines here, look. Blur the lines of the face to the background. And a little bit lighter here. Not to forget. Okay. Little break. Okay, back again with a little bit more. Sharpen this now. My very, very sharp willow charcoal. And then back and forth here. It's not doing anything. Don't know what happened with some charcoals, you know? Look. Nothing happening. Okay. What can I say? It's just charcoals. They do come in different brands. They do different charcoals. And apparently some of them are not good. Well, I'll try another charcoal. Okay, soften softly. That's a lot thicker. Get it a little bit sharper, 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 sharper. Okay, now let's see with that. That's more what I need. There you go, a little bit darker here. And softly moving the upper lip here, getting closer, closer, closer. Middle line of the lip, lower lip, it's a lot thicker. edgy on the eye. Darks here, softly. Bring them back again. Upper eyelid. An eyebrow. Alright, so what I'll do now, get some highlights out, as in here. Thumb again. Roundness of her shoulder. Get rid of those dark edges here. See, bring the finger, the little finger, more wrapped up with her upper arm. And what else? I'll spray it. Okay, let's spray it softly, and I'll add another layer of darks. Move your can of spray. Take the iPad out. Okay. Leave it for a couple of minutes. Maybe don't even have to wait for a couple of minutes. I can actually move in straight away. Smells. Okay, let's open up the windows. Get the smell out. Darks here. Bit more darks. No, it's not. It's not doing anything. Okay, but then I can try it up here on her hair. Softly darken the hair here. Still wet. Anyway, I'll leave that because it's not sticking. The dust is not sticking. So sharpen a bit more with the putty, with my sandpaper here. Putty rubber, get ready with the putty rubber. And more rounded with a thumb. A bit more better design. Okay, just bring that bone structure, emphasize that a bit more. Going back and forth here with the bone structure of the thumb, wrist. Get the wrist going here. Get those darks a bit darker than they are at the moment. And as I said, bring those darks right down to the wrist. And the values, the darker values here are very much the same as the values on the hand itself. So you see the darks that you have here on the dress are very similar to the darks on the skin tone. And as I said, cast shadow of the hand on the arm. That is important. Getting the elbow here. You got the elbow on that side. And it's right up here. These are all darks here. And bring back that line here. Of the wrist. And the hand, as it moves away, wraps up the shoulder on that side. Around it. Darken all this area. That's a shoulder. It's not as dark in the original, but I'm overdoing it. I like it this way. Sometimes do what is in your aesthetic likeness, let's say. I like that dark there. As I said, it's not as dark, but I like it because it creates a nice depth, a deep shadow like that. It just works there. And a little bit less dark on the flesh tone, and you can come up with some very, very dark highlights here, which are her bone knuckles here, knuckle structure. Okay, I think the hands are not too bad, really. It could be better, obviously. Anything can improve. But I think at this stage, I'm happy. A little bit darker here. Now the dress is very, very sharply dark. I think that will help me. Again, what helps you, what helps the drawing, by emphasizing that darkness there. Look, just softly bring a little bit that skin tone here, and that's enough. No need to be any brighter than that. That is good. Also a little bit darker here on this particular elbow there. Make the elbow a bit more rounded. Yes, why not? More rounded this way. Why not? That also creates a very nice sharp edge. Also, it helps the drawing. Softly bring them here. And a little bit more highlight here. There you are. And there you go. Now, as I said, I didn't want to put so much highlights there, but I think instead of using dark lines, I can use a putty rubber. And that actually works. There we are here. Okay. Wrap up the little finger. Lines in between the fingers here. Knuckle. Knuckle. And softly getting those dark lines here. Bit more flat here, all of that, and maybe, not maybe, definitely darker, all that area here. Incorporate those darks onto a wider dark of the dress and tonal value all together, mixed up. Bring back a little bit of flesh tone here. And going back to, back to the portrait. Before I go back to the portrait, I probably am tempted to do that line here. Look. Didn't want to do that, but I was saying, okay, well, I feel like I better do that. Exaggerate it a bit more, but it's fine. More exaggeration, more impressive. Shadow here. Cast shadow underneath her. See, by exaggerating that movement, that creates tension here on the hand. And this is what I've said to... Let me remind which drawing I was criticizing. Well, criticizing, not criticizing really, but giving the feedback. Okay, it's very much the same issue here, and I'm bringing a little bit more tension, which more than I'm actually willing to admit. It's more tense, my hand here, and that's it. Probably a little bit less tension will be good, but I think I'm happy with as it is now. A bit more tension, I think it makes more of a dramatic move here. See, softly moving those highlights and incorporating them together like that. It's better than having heavy lines here, although I can bring back some like this, a tiny bit here and a tiny bit here. That's better. And some highlights here on the wrist. Especially on the wrist. Don't want to be... See, that creates tension, but it's on purpose. Is it creating tension or not? Not really. If I highlight it more, maybe yes. Okay, now let's go to the portrait. Closer to the portrait. That thumb could be a bit further up, as in longer, not further up, longer basically. I feel it needs to go a bit longer and increase those bone structures there. There we are. Make her hand a bit bigger. And portrait, as we said. Well, before I go to the portrait, what I'm feeling here is that I need to get a lot darker with her dress, really. That will create a nice contrast. It's a very flat darkness here, which I think will create contrast, and it's needed here. I'm not sure if it's needed, but I'm trying. See, dark in the middle, but not on the sides. This is what I normally say to you. On sides, you can keep them like this. You can keep them softly, like this. That creates that kind of cartoon feel of it. But then that shows it's a kind of vulnerability of the drawing. So you can see that it's a drawing and it's not a picture. So you're open to interpretations why those lines are left softly. And I think they do work a lot better when you let them like this softly, instead of going and doing them right dark on the edge of it. So leave them softly unfinished like this, lines like that, and creates that drama, as I said, kind of cartoon feel to it, but also a kind of design, deliberate design mistake, if you like. Bone structure here, let's bring it back, the bone structure and the highlight on her flesh tone here. Okay, I think that's okay for the time being. Maybe softly here to the wrist and getting those darks back here. I didn't forget the portrait, don't worry, I'll get to the portrait now. There you go. Getting those darks incorporated there. And softly bring that highlight here on the flesh. Okay, let's get to the portrait. Eyelid, eyebrow, upper eyelid, tear duct, eyebrow again, hair, darker, darker, darker. Beautiful hair here. And bring that corner of her dress, which defines her jaw and chin. Here we are. And the lips. Lips are tricky. It's slightly darker the upper lip, but only this side. That side is not. And her lower lips are very fleshy, so just give her a bit more fleshy lower lips. And we have the roundness of her chin. Okay. Roundness of her chin. And bring back a little bit more eyebrow on this side, thicker as well, and upper eyelid. Structure here. Softly, not too dark. Need to get more of a sharper edge on my charcoal. So I need to grind the charcoal here. Well, I can grind it here to start with. Deliberately went there. Now let's bring back the thumb. So deliberately attempt to create kind of more of a narrative there, like a bit more drama. Higher, lighter right there, but just there. And create that bone structure of the wrist here, which is missing here. There, that's it. And now, bring back those knuckles. Softer like that. Okay. Yep, I wanted that there. And the middle knuckle is the most bony of them all. Okay, give it a bit of a movement there, and then create that bone structure with other means, with a putty. Okay, and a little bit further up, the thumb here. Okay, now let's go back and darken and sharpen the charcoal. Grinding my edge of my the edge of my charcoal here. Oh, that's it, sharp now. Look at that. That is good. And now getting those darker the nostril. And not forget the tip of the nostril here. And maybe softly getting rid of that line. Bring a little bit of background around here. I think that will help. Yes, it softens everything, you see. bit of hair freely flowing here, and also hair. A bit more hair again, looking more natural. Maybe I've increased way more than I needed to. And let's get it back then. A bit more, less here, less increase on the hair here. Give me a second. The hair right here, on the top of the eyebrow, the forehead. Here, cut that a bit more again, back and forth here with the hair, get it right. It's the most important, to get the shape of her skull right. I think moves back a bit more rounded like this. That's better. And as I said, softly, as I was saying to Nina earlier on, softly, not Nina, I don't remember. I think it was Penny, if I'm not wrong. So get that softly. I'm not sure if it was Penny, but anyway, it doesn't matter. It's for everyone. So that merge of the skin tone and the hair like this. Softly move it like that. See? There we are. And a little bit further back. Give her more jaw by moving it back this way. Gives her more jaw, more roundness of the chin here. Do you remember that I said it's a bit lighter, the upper lid? It's a lot lighter here. There you are. It's a lot lighter than it looks like. Softly merge those soft shadows here and the philtrum here. Okay, and a little bit lighter here, the lower lip as well here, especially on that side. Back and forth with the lips, just to get it as close as you can to the original look, and a little bit highlights on the forehead here, right here. Softly merge that, that's better, and increase that darkness right in the middle of the forehead here. Here. Nostril, less of a line here that it came about. Softly merge those, and let's work a little bit more on the ear. There we are. Bit more rounded. Here. I don't think that drama is required here on the ear. It's soft a little bit here, not pointed. I will create a different dynamic there. Pointed ear will be a little bit very strange on that little face and that beauty here that we have. Okay, a bit more roundness here. Hair around here, right, and bring back a little bit off with putty and create that air of free-flowing hair. Air of free-flowing hair, you know what I mean. Okay, some highlights in the middle here. I will suggest the strands of hair, her curly hair. All right. And darken here, upper lip. Ball structure. Possibly a little bit less dark line here, less of a dark line. There. See, that softens everything. And get the roundness of her upper lip, the roundness here. Highlight that a bit more, and voila. It's all right. Could go a lot better, but I think it's good enough. Again, it's not just a portrait. It's also a portrait, but it's also the movements. Beautiful gesture. And all dark here, and all a bit darker there. Hair here. There we are. A bit more dynamic. Just about to bring a bit more highlight on the eye. Right here. There. Okay, I'll spray it again. Take the iPad out. It's good. It's good to go. All right. No, from far away. Yes, there are things you can do more, but I think it's not a bad outcome. Where's the charcoal? Charcoal. Here it is. It's still wet. Let's say here, for instance, I can come back and darken a bit more. Darken the cast shadow a bit more. Wrist. There we are. A bit more rounded here. Again, a bit more drama around that. Softly bring that highlight here. Why not? Just do it yourself. Create that highlight there. Again, a bit more bony. But she's a model. And she's very young. So you can get away with those bony structures there all around here. And last few touches.